Asian markets lower today ahead of a key policy meeting by Europe's central bank, and China's currency continues to strengthen in anticipation of a visit to China by U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. I'm Deborah Kahn. You're watching Asia Today. I'm joined now by reporter Brian Spegele from Beijing. Okay, Brian, Hillary started her tour of Asia really calling on China to act in a fair and transparent way over security issues in both the East and South China Seas. So is she expected to be this upfront when she actually meets with Chinese officials in Beijing?
Well, as you said, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is in the region this week. She'll be landing in Beijing in a couple of hours, where she'll be holding a number of meetings tomorrow. It's tough to say how explicit or blunt she'll be with Chinese leaders. It's important to remember, after all, that the South China Sea and the East China Sea issue isn't going to be the only issue on the table during these meetings. Of course, it's been the hot-button issue of late, but Secretary Clinton surely has a number of issues on her plate, including Chinese cooperation on Syria, on Iran, among other issues. With that said, the Secretary has been quite explicit so far in her meetings in Indonesia as well as in the Cook Islands about stability in the South China Sea and in the East China Sea. So it seems very likely she's going to pass her message along both to her Chinese counterparts as well as to the domestic press in China as well as the foreign press in a relatively explicit way.
Do we know exactly who she's meeting with?
Yeah, we have a good idea that she's definitely going to be meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister Jiechi, and she's expected to be holding a press availability tomorrow afternoon. In addition, she's expected to meet with Chinese President Hu Jintao as well as expected soon-to-be President Xi Jinping.
Okay, and Sino-U.S. relations are really entering an awkward phase given so much attention around security issues and territorial disputes. Would you say that this issue has the potential to really cause a wedge between the two countries?
Well, this has been a very sensitive issue as of late. However, it's important again to remember that U.S.-China relations right now are built on a number of issues, not least of which trade and economic issues. Around a U.S. presidential election and in the upcoming to the 18th Party Congress for the Chinese, it was expected by most diplomats and analysts in Beijing that there would be something of a thaw in relations. Perhaps something of a standstill in pushing forward some of the thorniest issues, for example, the South China Sea. With that said, I think it's really important to remember that this relationship is built on a number of issues, and I don't think either leaders from either country are prepared to really let relations sour over these singular issues.
Okay, thanks very much. Reporter Brian Spegele joining us from Beijing.